F***ing idiots. Want daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck? Of course you do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Hello and welcome back to Front Page Tech, the show that gives you all the latest tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. Happy Monday. It is the beginning of, something's happening this week. Christmas. Christmas is on Tuesday. Wednesday? Hump Day? Is Hump Day Christmas this year? Okay. Gonna be an easy week this week because, obviously, news doesn't happen when Santa's in town. So, let's take it easy. Here's the news. Okay, so, story numero uno. First up for the day. Oh, I hate the internet. Okay, so I'm not sure who saw this first or who wanted to make a big deal about this first. I saw it originally from MKBHD, and MKBHD saw it from... Sawed it? He sawed it. Yep, I nailed that. MKBHD sawed it from Ben Geskin. The Ben Geskin tweet says, "Do you see what I see?" Marquez, MKBHD, said, "So how long till the Apple support account quietly changes this banner?" So let's look at these images. This is the banner at the top of the Apple support Twitter account. I guess at first glance, it looks like there's no notch. Like either there's an iPhone that doesn't have a notch, or somebody photoshopped an iPhone that doesn't have a notch, and it's at the top of an official Apple Twitter page. Now, do I really have to remind everybody that the notchless iPhone is not happening? Notch happening? We have already made episodes about it. We have already talked about it. There was a rumor started by you-know-who that there's a prototype of the iPhone with no notch, with the Face ID stuff in the bezel. And ever since then, tech websites, your favorite tech blogs, have been covering it and sort of running with this idea because journalism is dead. So then I had people tweeting me, being like, "Look, John, it's an iPhone without a notch." And a bunch of people talking about this shit, like Apple accidentally leaked themselves that they're working on an iPhone with no notch. I have... how? Guys, what? Come on, look at this banner again. Let's zoom in. Enhance. CSI enhance. Look at this. You see that? There is a notch there. Okay? All right. The light is reflecting off the notch that is there. What this is Apple being clever and hiding the notch because they're ashamed. The same way when we got the iPhone XS and XS Max, they had that really clever wallpaper that totally disguised the fact that there's a notch there. That's all this is. They're embarrassed, they're ashamed, so they're cleverly hiding it. This isn't an accidental leak, okay? It's not even a bad Photoshop. Like, part of me wishes that it was just a really bad Photoshop and that, like, some Apple just didn't even care. They're like, "We need a banner," and they just gave it to some intern somewhere. And he was all like thinking he was clever, like, "Oh no, I'm gonna take away the notch, and everyone's gonna think there's no notch on this." I am sad and I am ashamed of anyone who looked into this and thought that this was an actual thing. It's crazy because last year, when Google was actually actively marketing something that they totally weren't going to sell you. Remember all the promotions making it seem like the Pixel 3 was going to look like this? Like, you remember all this stuff. And when there was totally a real reason to look into that, and I brought it up and brought attention to that, I was the crazy conspiracy guy. You remember articles like this? Like, I was just a crazy kook. I was just a crazy conspiracy guy. Whoa, what's John Persner up to now? And now, just because, I don't know, you didn't use your eyes long enough, people are like, "What, the iPhone is gonna have no notch?" Here, I'll give you a few more seconds to look. It's the one on the top. Definitely can clearly, if you look long enough and use your eyes, the notch, you can see it. It's there. And then let's shift, okay? Let's move our eyes down to the one towards the bottom, the one on the left. That's the same phone, but the UI is just shifted down. Notch is still there. That's the iPhone. That's the iPhone XS or XS Max or iPhone 11. You know what I'm saying. It's the same fucking phone. You can literally see the icon indicators in the right top corner and the left top corner, and the UI for the Animoji is just shifted down. What are you... People, help me. Help me help you, okay? What happened here was just a difference in the amount of seconds you spent using your eyes. You, instead of going like this, woo! You should have just taken a couple more fucking seconds and been like, oh yeah, okay, I see the notch there, and I'm an idiot. That's what you should have done. And here, if you need further convincing, here is a mock-up that leaked like sometime during the weekend. Leaked, you know, whatever that word means these days. It comes from Makatakara, who they have a history of Apple leaks. And this supposedly is an iPhone 12 Pro Max mock-up. Not that like all the details from this mock-up would be entirely accurate, but if you care, it's 1 millimeter higher than the 11 Pro Max. Obviously, we're seeing those flat sides that we've been hearing about that Ming-Chi Kuo said we were getting next year. There's also what seems to be, I guess, like a smart connector, like, you know, that we see on the iPad and stuff. At least that's what Makatakara is labeling it as, but it could easily just be a fucking SIM card slot. Not sure what happened there. Oh, and notch. That's there. How about that? Imagine that. Now listen, we also got to tell you that this means nothing. Anybody at any time could make this plastic sack of shit. You can just 3D print this and make a video and then be like, oh, look at the iPhone leak. And then stupid ass shows like mine will talk about it. Here we are. Congratulations. You win. It's not like I want to talk about it, but with it going around in the news cycle, somebody's got to come out and tell you, hey, man, probably not. All right, so next up, let's talk about Motorola, the Moto Razr, the new one. Apparently, demand is real high. Too high for them. Pretty much just like every folding device that we saw this year, it's getting delayed. So they're delaying the pre-order and launch of this phone because there's a lot of demand, so they say. So they need to adjust to better meet the demand. In a statement, they said, since its announcement in November, the new Motorola Razr has received unparalleled excitement and interest from consumers. Demand has been high, and as a result, has quickly outgrown supply predictions. Yeah, I hate to be that guy. Just gotta ask a question. How do you know? What are you talking about? You know nothing about the demand. There hasn't been pre-orders. That's how you gauge demand for a product, is the pre-orders. And so if the pre-order, you get a lot of pre-orders, then you're like, oh no, we don't have enough. So we got delayed the launch. Sorry, everybody else. But what are you basing the demand off of? Fucking YouTube comments? Are you crazy? Newsflash, Motorola, don't know if you're familiar with how the internet works, but just because people talk about it and they're like in the YouTube comments, be like, oh, this is so cool, doesn't mean they're gonna spend their money and buy it. Hate to break it to you. Half the people saying this stuff and sticking up for you are 8 years old. They don't got money. I can hear all the pissed off 8-year-olds right now just shaking their fucking piggy banks. Look, Jern! Look at all my money! You're just a hater and you don't have money! Okay, for real, all joking aside, I think what we're actually looking at here has nothing to do with demand. I just think they weren't ready. I think they said they were ready, knowing they totally weren't ready, and so they're gonna delay this. They had to delay this anyway. They need some time to actually manufacture this thing. And they're just going to be like, oh, but demand is too high because Google searches. I don't know who you were trying to fool, Motorola, but you ain't fooling Jern. All right, last up for the day. We talked about Apple. We talked about Motorola. So how about we talk about a little wow. It. I was going to try again, but there's no use, okay? I made the mistake. I fucked up the line. So now we both live with this, okay? How about we talk about Sammy, Samsung. Ice Universe put out a tweet showing these images saying, Galaxy S11 cover, this is the final version. The cover is not a protective film. It is a reference for the protective film, saying this is much closer to the actual phone design. Like this is our best look at what we can expect in terms of bezels, or lack thereof. You can see a tiny little pee hole up at the top, and then the bezels, the forehead and the chin. Apparently this is it. This is what we can expect from this phone. And that's it. That was the whole story, I think. You're welcome. This is why they pay me the big bucks. Speaking of big bucks, I'm gonna get paid now. Here we go. The internet, such a wonderful place full of magic and so many passwords. But do not fear, ladies and gentlemen, Dashlane has your back. With Dashlane, you never have to worry about filling out another password field, address requirement, or credit card entry ever again. Dashlane keeps it all at your fingertips and has you covered across all of your favorite devices. Not only does it have one-touch entry, keeping it super simple and easy to use, but it's also crazy secure with the strongest encryption available. Not only will Dashlane save all of your passwords and keep them secure for you, but it will also generate random super secure ones for you so that you can finally stop using that password that you made 12 years ago thinking that it was strong enough because you had a capital G in it. So relax, stop weighing that lovely brain of yours down with all your information, with all your passwords, and stop writing them down. Please, let Dashlane do all the hard work for you. Start a 30-day free trial of Dashlane today, and when you're absolutely in love, use promo code FrontPageTech to get 10% off a premium membership. And with just how important your security is online these days, you have no excuse now not to be downloading Dashlane right now. And that's the show. Hopefully you liked it, you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you hate my stupid face, which a lot of you do, hit the dislike button. That button works too. If you're new here, subscribe. And I'll see you guys, wait for it, tomorrow.